I'm Andrew Rhodes. I'm the managing partner of SobellRhodes Chartered Accountants. We're about a 35-man team. We have 6 partners, and our offices are located here in Pinner Harrow and also in the West End of London. We came out of a much bigger firm about 15 years ago, determined to do something different and make an impact on the accountancy profession. And the original ambition was just to be a great local firm, and over the years those ambitions have grown. And we just now really focus on maximising the client value so the clients get the maximum benefit from us. And I think really it's just being a positive force in the accountancy profession is what we really aim to be. Some of the awards we've run have really been a conscious effort, a conscious focus to actually win awards as part of our expansion and part of our growth plans. What we do is we use the criteria and framework of awards to continue to improve the processes and really striving for excellence. And over the last few years, that's been a conscious effort, so much so that more recently, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, we won the British Accountancy Awards, and they're getting more and more competitive. There were 37 finalists right across the country in that particular award, and that's probably one of the premier awards that we won. And some of the other ones, such as winning Medium Firm of the Year, as well as the National Customer Service WOW Award. But one of the most important ones, I think, actually has been Invested in People. We started on the Invested in People process probably about 10 years ago. And really we've used that as the criterion framework for continuing to improve how our people perform, how we actually support them. And I think for any service organisation, it's pretty crucial. And now this evolved into a bronze, silver and gold standard. And about 1%, just over 1% of all the Invest in People accredited businesses are gold standard. And to everybody's credit here, we actually managed to achieve that almost a year ago. And that really has been some of the basic framework as to why we are able to perform at the level that we do. Our training programme really evolved from our strategy of having a sort of a cost, investment, income approach to our practice. Whenever we see a major cost, we actually try and think about how we can actually invest in that and produce it for future income for ourselves and also supporting our clients. So we recognised that training was a really hefty cost for us because we put a lot of effort in training our people to the highest possible standards. And therefore what we thought was actually most of the other practices in this area, and there are a large number of practices in this area, have the same actual need and have the same requirements. So what we do is we actually get in for our own people, the very best trainers in the UK, and we've offered that to a number of other firms, such that now over 60 firms of accountants use us as their training process. In that way, the original cost, which was very high for us as training, as we've invested it and improved the process and offered it to other firms of accountants, it's actually become a very worthwhile profit centre for us. The practice really has grown principally from referrals, both referrals from clients and also for important introducers. And I think up until now, around about 97% of our new business has come from referrals. That's now changing because we're putting now more and more emphasis on some targeting marketing in specific areas, but also the web is driving us into other new areas as well. But historically, the referral process, and it still will be the bedrock of everything we do, by actually producing very good work, clients feel such that they feel grateful, they want to introduce other people. But also we have this process and this feeling that actually we should be referring our clients wherever possible to other people. So whenever we actually think about asking for referrals, even before doing so, we'll always try and think about referrals for clients. And we have this referral introduction process such that the majority of clients that come in for meetings normally go out with something like 2 to 3 introductions and referrals to other people. That's a concept that we've learned through being long-term members of BNI for the last 14 years. And also we managed to have other groups that work on referrals as well. We started our own international association, and that now has 150 offices around the world. And we refer work between accountancy firms in our country when they have a need abroad, and vice versa. When accountancy firms abroad have a need in the UK, then we're here to service them as well. And we work to common quality standards. Therefore, by being at the hub and the core of the referral process, almost automatically, we're receiving referrals from our clients and from people that we're introducing. And it's worked extremely well. But as time goes on, I think we want to be more targeted, so we're supplementing that with some other new areas as well. I think the top tip for growing practice is really, I would start off at the very, very core of what you do. What's your vision? What is your strategy for the future? And to have a very solid strategy plan. When we started SobellRhodes, we had some quite strong ideas that we made sure that we wrote down, and we try wherever possible to benchmark and actually review and monitor what we're actually seeking to achieve. And by having actually a written strategy plan, which we've had ever since the beginning of SobellRhodes, that we monitor each year and track our progress, I think that's been the bedrock of our success, being very clear about what we want to achieve. The other thing I think is very important and has been important to us as a practice is having this concept of giving exceptional service that really wows clients. And we work a number of ways of doing that. We have a very strong service commitment, which we make very public to our clients, what they expect from us. And we monitor that in terms of the client service questionnaires that we ask our clients to do, both on a written basis and on an email basis, and even on face-to-face, how are we doing against what we pledge we're going to do for you. And the last thing I think actually in terms of growing a practice is to get your pricing right. There is pressure nowadays on clients wanting cheaper and cheaper fees, but actually I think that's really goes against some of the idea that you actually have a quality practice. And I think it's very important to price effectively and have some form of value pricing process such that clients can match the value that you give them and be very public about that against what you're charging them, so they can actually see the value for money they're getting continually. And that's been, those three areas have been some of the main areas that we've actually concentrated on in terms of growing the practice, and they've worked exceptionally well. The process by which we think about how we can help our clients is a form of actually thinking about how can we actually inspire. And inspiring is actually the concept of actually how can we inspire our people to want to go further, to want to actually give clients better and better service. And by that we actually make sure their training is exceptionally good, that we actually reward them and we recognise when they're providing good service for clients. And next, in terms of actually inspiring our clients, what we try and do is make sure that we provide them with innovative tools and processes that we can help them actually improve their business, and we inspire them and help them to actually do that. So by being inspirational, they actually will go further. And I think we've actually applied it to the accountancy profession by introducing such things as assurance reports to the accountancy profession. And I think we're actually now wanting to go beyond that in terms of the wider world, so that we belong to something called B1G1, which a number of forward-looking accountants do, whereby if we actually have something happens at SobellRhodes which is good for us, we try and share that benefit with the wider world and support many charities to help businesses or to help individuals around the world who are less fortunate than ourselves. The next thing we think about in terms of differentiating ourselves is actually to be innovative, such that the sort of things that people come to us or clients come to us for, they can't really find in very many other places. So we've developed a number of business improvement tools and worked with other software companies to actually develop those, and they're used by a number of other practices as well. And we do have an abundant approach. We like to share our good ideas with practices of a similar ethos to us. And I think the other idea is actually the other process, or the other thinking behind what we do, is actually to be very practical, such that it's all very well knowing the theory, but actually unless you actually help clients in a practical way, so they can see it in a simple, step-by-step approach, so they can use these sort of ideas, these sort of tools to improve their businesses. So it's a combination of inspiration, innovation, and practical help. I think the big things to look out for the accounting profession, I think the profession is becoming more and more niche orientated, and to concentrate more on specialist sectors. And there's many reasons for that, because I think once you understand a sector particularly well, you can obviously provide better value. Your pricing isn't under so much pressure, and also your conversion processes for bringing in new businesses from those sector is at a much higher percentage level as well. I think there is added pressure now from the point of view of compliance. There are a number of low compliance providers, not only in the UK but offshore as well. And I think there'll be more and more pricing pressure on compliance services such as accounts and tax returns, and therefore you've got to be looking for providing added value and things whereby clients can actually see the value of providing them, rather than doing a nuts and bolts job of producing end-of-year accounts and tax returns. And I think those pressures will, they'll come to bear, and those will be the areas that actually in the future firms such as ourselves in the mid-sized sector are really going to have to concentrate on. Some of our plans for the forthcoming year are to bring more and more younger people into the practice, to bring that new blood, to make sure the succession is well planned, so that we have a good throughput of as people decide to either move on to other areas or take things a little bit easier. We have a good succession of people who are innovative, inspirational, coming through the practice, so they can continue to provide the level of service that our clients expect. Some of the things, I suppose, maybe my previous life to being an accountant, I've been a few things. I've been a silver market salesman. I've been a porter. And one of the things I suppose that I keep quite my interest is actually collecting antique accountants' memorabilia. And I very much hope that I won't be one of the accountant antique memorabilia of the future. So I intend to carry on for some time yet. And I don't think I ever really want to stop working, because accountancy, the whole area, the world of accountancy, I still think is very stimulating, and I want to be a part of it for a very long time to come.